Hey there guys, what is going on? Today we have something a little bit different. We're using a little bit of a different format for our class setup video for today. You know that the EM2 is one of the best assault rifles in the game. It features like a 220 millisecond time to kill with a 3-shot kill with the task force barrel. And we are talking about the 3 of the most overpowered class setups that you can make with the EM2 Assault Rifle in Cold War Season 5. Just before we do get into it here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I do very much appreciate it, and it really does help me out. Of course, we are looking for 6,000 subscribers very soon, and if you could help me achieve that milestone, that would be absolutely massive. So let's talk about 3 of the most overpowered EM2 class setups that you can make in Cold War right now. So as I said, we are going to be exploring 3 different class setups for you today. If there is a specific one that you are after, you can basically just look in the timestamps and see if you can find what you are looking for. Starting us off here, we have a sort of middle of the road build. This is going to be one with the big scope, and then of course a suppressor, which is very, very nice options for sort of stealth, as well as sort of fighting at medium to longer distances. This is a class setup that I usually go with, but you can switch it out if you do prefer playing at close range, and we'll talk about a class setup for that in more in a second. But I really do like this thing. The EM2, as I said, does have a really, really decent damage range, and it's like 220 millisecond time to kill with a 3-shot kill as well, which is so super powerful for this game right now. So starting us off here, as I said, we do have that suppressor here for the 100% increase to our muzzle flash concealment. Now, I know what you're thinking. This does reduce our effective damage range and bullet velocity quite significantly here, but it's not actually as bad as you think it is. It's only a 15% decrease and an 8% decrease to bullet velocity, which is not too bad. And then we do throw on the task force barrel for all of these class setups, so keep this in mind. This is one of the must-have attachments. This almost halves your TTK from like 340-ish to about 210, 220 milliseconds, which is so super strong. So this is the task force barrel for the damage range and bullet velocity here. These numbers are 51 damage per bullet, allowing us to get that 3-shot kill. 51 meters of damage range, which is super strong, as well as 970 meters of bullet velocity, which is, again, very, very strong as well. This allows us to hit as hard and as fast as possible, having great hit detection here. Then we move to the underbarrel here. We actually have the infiltrated grip here, because this thing has basically 0 recoil as it is. We do get 5% movement speed, 5% shooting movement speed, and 5% aim walking movement speed here, which is very, very powerful for moving us around the map more quickly. And we don't actually need a recoil controlling attachment here, because this thing is an absolute laser beam as it is. Then we move to the magazine. We've actually got the Stanag 40 round mag here, just for giving us the most amount of bullets to fire, while not having too slow of a reload speed, and the aim down sight speed reduction is not too big of a deal either, as we can mitigate with that other attachments. But again, having more bullets to fire here is always good. And then we round this off with the airborne elastic wrap, giving us that aim down sight speed increase of 30%, 90% flinch resistance, and of course we can aim while going prone. If we take a look here, this does give us 255 milliseconds worth of aim down sight speed, which for this particular weapon, which is designed around fighting at medium to long range combat, this is a very, very powerful sort of stat here. Moving on to what I described as more of a medium close range setup. This is if you like to be a little bit more aggressive, you like a sort of short range optic. This is the class setup for you. I really do like the Microflex LED on this thing. So as I said, starting off, we do have that Microflex LED here for a very clear sight picture. I know this thing does have an integrated sight by default, but it's not ideal for fighting up close, as it does sort of block off your peripherals a little bit. So a Microflex LED allows you to fight at close ranges very, very easily and maintain your peripheral vision. Moving on, again, as I said, the task force barrel is an absolute must-have here for the damage range and bullet velocity. This gives us the most amount of punch at range, as well as very, very good bullet velocity, which, as I said, is absolutely strong for hit detection. Taking it back a little bit here, again, we do have that suppressor here for that muzzle flash concealment. This does help keep us off the radar, as we mentioned earlier, while reducing our bullet velocity and our effective damage range, which, as I said, is not too big of a deal. And then, of course, we move to the magazine again for that Stanag 40 round mag. Again, giving us more bullets to fire, more starting ammo. There's a lot of good things with the Stanag 40 round mag, meaning we can stay in gunfights for a little bit longer. And then again, we do round this off with the airborne elastic wrap. Again, aim down sight speed, flinch resistance, and of course, aim while going prone. Again, that aim down sight speed stat does not change from 255 milliseconds, meaning we can fight at longer distances. But again, as I said, really, really strong up close. And this is sort of the class setup that you want to be a little bit more aggressive with. You want to be pushing up on people. The aim down sight speed is really, really nice, as well as that sprinter fire speed. It's a little slow, but it's not too big of a deal. And again, that Microflex LED is a really, really nice clear sight picture if you don't prefer that sort of built-in sight here. Then to round this off, we have something a little bit of a combination of the two classes. If you do like to fight at medium range, but you somehow find the recoil on this thing a little bit annoying, you can actually take this class setup instead. This does allow us to sprint around the map quite quickly, have a decent time at medium to long range combat with that built-in scope, as well as adding a little bit more recoil control to what we have featured previously. Again, the sprint to fire speed is not ideal on this thing, but it is what it is here. Again, fighting at medium to longer distances is still going to be very, very strong with this thing. Again, we start off with a little bit different here for the infantry compensator for 12% increase to our vertical recoil control, This does allow us to hit those shots incredibly easily here. This thing is an absolute laser beam with both of the recoil attachments that we've chosen here today. But I mean, you do not really need this thing. If you do want to fight at those longer distances but stay suppressed, the suppressor can do the job for you, but you can also combine this with like an agency suppressor. This is a little worse, but again, this is up to you. Then again, the Task Force barrel is an absolute must-have attachment as we had presented previously. 3-shot kill and like 220 milliseconds worth of TTK is absolutely absurd for a gun like this. This just kills way too quickly and is definitely broken right now. But again, being able to have that maximum bullet velocity for that hit detection is very, very important for a slightly slow firing assault rifle. Then we have the underbarrel. This is a little bit different again for the SFOD speed group. The 5% increase to our sprinting movement speed allows us to move around the map slightly more quickly than we have done previously, as well as having more recoil control. Again, you are pinpoint accurate with this thing with these 2 recoil controlling attachments, allowing us to hit targets from very far away, but also medium distance and close range distance is not too big of a deal as we are sprinting around a lot more quickly here. Then again, we do have the 40 round mag, but you can take a 30 round if you don't actually want to reduce that aim down sight speed by as much as the 40 round mag. But again, I feel like just having more bullets to fire with this thing at that slower rate of fire is still quite nice here. But again, the magazine attachment is mostly up to you. Then again, as we have mentioned previously, the airborne elastic wrap in the EM2 handle slot is just probably a must-have attachment as well, just for the most amount of aim down sight speed if you are taking that larger magazine. However, if you are taking that 30 round mag on any of these class setups, take a smaller magazine. You can just run the serpent wrap as well. This does give you 25% increase to our aim down sight speed while not reducing our close range stats in our sprinter fire speed and our shooting movement speed by as much. So this is an interesting option here. If you were interested in the rest of the class setups for all of these, they are the same. For the Marshall, of course, on all of them as our secondary, that is the attachments with these. The barrel, we got the extended to increase our damage range slightly, which is really nice. Then we have the Dragon's Breath as well for that increase to our damage, giving us more one-shot kills, which is really, really fun here. And then Dual Wield, because having 2 of these just really removes people from the map, and it is very, very strong. Then, of course, we do have the Stim Shot across the board here for all these classes as well. We do have that Stim Shot to get us in gunfights and keep us fighting when we do take some damage. In the lethal slot, we do have the Semtex on all these as well for just a simple option, easy to use. But again, in the lethal slot, you can choose whatever of the 5 available options you prefer. Then in the field upgrade slot, we do have the field microphone. Of course, you can take this to give you that mini advanced UAV-like effect on the minimap, but you can take like a jammer, you can take a trophy system depending on how you do want to play. Then we do have the wild card, of course, on across all of these is perk greed. Again, 6 perks, very strong. You can take 8 attachments on this thing, but you really don't need it for most class setups. And then the flak jacket, the forward intel, the scavenger, the tracker, the ninja, and the ghost here are our usual perk class setup here. But again, you can switch a lot of these options out as you do prefer. Whatever is up to you, that's all good. Again, that is going to be 3 of the best EM2 class setups that you can make at the moment. I'm not 100% sure if this thing is going to get nerfed soon. I'm sure it's going to get nerfed, but I don't know when exactly that's going to be. Hopefully it's soon, because it is very, very strong in the game at the moment. This and the Tech 9, the 2 best guns, the only guns you need to worry about right now. Again, thank you very much for watching this one. I do massively appreciate it, of course. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I do massively appreciate it, and it really does help me out. Of course, thank you very much for watching, as I said, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!